Hello everybody and welcome back to what should be the final episode of Human Resource Machine. We've got two puzzles left, ladies and gentlemen. Two. And I'm sure they're going to be just super easy. Super easy. I mean, come on, why would they put the hard ones at the end, right? Alright, we got Prime Factory and Sorting Floor left. I'm going to hopefully get two of these done this episode. Alright, I haven't looked at them yet. I think if I'm guessing correctly, Prime Factory is probably going to be like find the prime number, the prime factors of this non-prime number, which yeah. And then Sorting Floor, if I'm guessing correctly, is probably just going to be a much more complicated sorting problem. Obviously, something a little bit more than bubble sort, something a little bit more than just three letters. Probably have to sort like full words or something like that. So that one's going to be interesting too. But I can't wait to see the ending. But yeah, let's dive right in and absorb some pain. Bring it on. Are you sure you're supposed to be here? This is a very difficult assignment. I have no idea how to do it either. Thanks, buddy. Oh, we have like multiple supervisors here. Like, oh, what is he doing? He can't do that. What puzzle is this craziness? For each thing in the inbox, send its prime factors to the outbox in order from smallest to largest. Oh, man, come on. Alright, this is going to be interesting. Alright, prime factors. Let's talk about this. Prime factors. So, most of you probably know what a prime number is. It's a number that is only divisible by 1 and itself. Let's see there. 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 17, 19. Right. So, how you multiply those numbers together to get a non-prime number is the prime factors. So, let's see, looking at what we got here, some of these, like 2 is pretty trivial. The prime factors of 2 is 2. The prime factors of 16 is much more interesting. It's going to be 2 to the 4th power, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So, 4 2s is the prime factors there. And the prime factors of 4 is just 2 and 2, obviously. So, I want to see, let's see here. I want to see, can I just get some new numbers or something here? Just give me some new numbers. 2, 13, 15, okay. Prime factors of 2 is 2. Prime factors of 13 is just 13, since 13 is prime. And 15 is going to be 3 and 5, because those are both prime. Okay. Oh, wow. Alright, I'll be honest with you. I have no idea how to do this right now. So, I can't even pretend to wing this on the fly. So, give me some time and I'll see if I can come up with something. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Have I mentioned that I really like this game? I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be sad when this game is done. I really have enjoyed it. I hope they come out with an expansion or something. I will definitely buy it. But this puzzle right here, Prime Factory, is definitely challenging, okay? And I say is, I am not done yet, but I do have, I've been working on this for a while, okay? So first of all, there's no way I could have given you the natural brain flow on this one, as I was lucky enough to do on some of the other ones. I have what I think might work, okay? I've kind of started stepping through some of my examples. I haven't let it go through all the way, so I have no idea how it's going to evaluate or anything, and I have no idea if it's even going to finally work. But I think it will. So what I want to do is talk through how this works before we even get to the point of it evaluating and stuff, because I don't want to be, you know, I don't even know if this is good or not yet, but this is my first pass at what I've come up with, okay? So, with a puzzle like this, I mean, obviously you have to decide right off the bat, are you going for speed or puzzle, or, you know, am I trying to keep the number of instructions at a minimum or the number of steps at a minimum? And I'm going for steps. In other words, I'm going for speed. I'm trying to make this program execute as fast as possible. Now, with that said, you can see on the board here, what I've decided to do is start my program off by pre-calculating the prime numbers up to 20. In this case, obviously 1920 is not a prime number. Now that cost me all these instructions here, right? So my first 20 instructions you can see here on the side are literally just building up that kind of static array of prime numbers. But my theory is that that's going to really save me in execution speed later on because I only have to test the prime numbers. So that's why that's all there. This is horribly, obviously, 20 instructions. There's no way I'm going to be hitting any instruction count limits, but I'm not going for that. Maybe I'll come back to that, and that's a big maybe. But here's the idea, okay? Wow. All right, so to find the prime numbers, what I'm probably going to do is talk a little theory and then go back to the program and show you what's what, and then talk a little bit more theory. But the idea here for this one is pop a number off, okay? And that's going to go in my value here. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of step between these prime numbers, and for each prime number, I want to see how many times it divides into my current value. If it divides into that value evenly, then that means that number is a prime factor and I need to output it. If it does not divide evenly, in other words, if it like skips over it, then it's not a prime factor, in which case I need to jump to the next one, okay? So P here is going to be my current prime number that I'm evaluating. It's going to be, the value here is actually going to be like 0, 1, 2, 3, but it's just going to be like a reference to one of the current values up here. So anytime I reference P, I'm actually referencing one of these values, one of these constant values that I've already evaluated or calculated up top there. So let's see, let me just jump through the program here and we'll talk it through as we go, I guess. So up to instruction 20 again is just basically copy from 0 to 2, bump it a couple times, bump it one more for 3, and then from there I just start adding 2 because it's just add 2 to 5 is 7, add 2 twice is to 11, add 2 once, add 2 twice, add 2 once. You get the idea. So that's pretty straightforward brute force method of getting those constants there. All right, I've got some comments in the program here with my fantastic handwriting here. So we got new number. This is a section now where I'm about to pop a new number off of the inbox and kind of set things up. So copy from 0, copy to P. So initialize P to point to the first prime number in the array. Pop a number off the inbox and jump down. Skip over that section for now. Jump down to here, copy to value. So it's going to take the number off the inbox and dump it to value. So value is going to be our prime number. This is going to change as we're kind of spinning through all this. Now subtract our current prime number, our P. This is letting me know when I'm actually done with the prime factorization here. So when the current prime number I'm evaluating is greater than the value remaining here, that means I'm done. Because obviously, like, you know, if I have like a 4 here and I'm on 5, clearly 5 can't go into 4 and there's no sense to go on, so I'm done and I've got all my prime factors. So that's all that's doing there. When that's negative, it jumps up here, as you can see, and goes back up to new number again. Pretty straightforward there. Alright, loop start. This is the start of my loop where I'm going to be attempting to divide the current prime number into the current value. So, setting that up, copy from 0, copy to div count. So div count is how many times the current prime number has divided into the value so far. And I'm doing that by incrementing this sum value here. So I also copy to sum. So this is zeroes out sum right here. And we're going to, the general idea here is we're going to be incrementing sum by multiples of prime, or by multiples of P, and each time it goes in, we're going to be incrementing div count by 1. To get basically, we're just doing a simple division here, okay? So, let's see. Copy to sum. Okay, subtract value now. So I'm subtracting what's in my current sum. I'm subtracting value from my current sum. And I'm doing it this way, which might be a little bit kind of reverse of what you would expect. Because jump if negative is going to be the common case, and I want to be able to test that one first for speed. So most of the time while we're incrementing sum, we're going to be not quite at the prime number that we're testing for. It's going to be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You know, each time subtracting value is going to give us a negative number, so we can quick jump out of there, okay? Jump down here to just the section I call dividing, which basically bumps the div count here, copies from sum, adds P, and then jumps. Okay, so we're basically going to jump back up to here and copy back down to sum. So it's basically just incrementing sum by the multiple of P that I was talking about. And we keep doing that. The important thing, though, is that div count got incremented by 1 each time. So we keep doing that until... so that's the negative case here. Now, if we hit it evenly, if sum matches value perfectly, then this jump 0 is going to hit. And that means we're going to jump up here to mod. So that means that the prime number evenly divided into value. So in this case, we've got a prime factor of our value. So copy from P, because this is the current prime number that we're evaluating, and dump it into the outbox. Copy from div count and stomp over, and you can see just how it just kind of falls through some of these jumps here. Copy it back over to value. So, for instance, if we had a 10 as our value, we would hit it and P was 2. We would hit it evenly. have I lost you guys yet? Have you? Who's hit the fast forward button? This is the long-winded explanation. Sorry, guys. If the number was 10, 2 would have gone in evenly and div count would have been 5. So we're going to take 5 and stomp it back into value, and then we're going to repeat the process here. We're going to subtract P again to see if we're going over. So it's kind of like working both ways. P is incrementing, and value is decrementing every time we find a prime factorization. There was one more section. Where was it? Right here. Not mod. So, nope. Okay, right. So when we're incrementing our sum by multiples of P, if it's not negative and it's not 0, that means it's positive, which means we jumped over the value without hitting it evenly, which means it's not a multiple. So in that case, we got the not mod section here. So I'm going to bump P, increment this by 1, which is going to take me to point to the next prime number here, okay? And then copy from value and jump back up to the list. So that's basically the program. Let's see how it does. So, starting off, you can see it's just going to go through here and build up the list of constants. Again, I've run through some of this stuff, so I'm fairly certain, I'm 90% certain it's going to work. I don't know how well it's going to work, so we may need to tweak it. Okay, we're into the new number section. Setting P to be 0 so that our prime number is 2. Taking 2 off the stack, copying it to value, subtracting 2, so we have 0. We're going into the loop now, so testing to see if 2 goes into 2, which obviously we know it does, but the computer doesn't know that. So it's not negative, or it is negative. So we're bumping div count. It means it has gone in once so far. Copy from sum, add our current prime number, and put it back into sum. Subtract value. It's not negative, it is 0 now. So now that means we have found, because it evenly divided in, we have found a prime factor. This is insane. So copy from P, outbox it, take div count and stomp over value, and we're good to go now. Now I've subtracted P, we're negative, so that was the easy one. So 2 was the only prime factor there. So now we're on to 13 now. And this is like when we get to 13 and some of the 17s and even like 19s and stuff, this is where building my array is going to really help. So because we built this array of prime numbers here, we don't have to test 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. You get the idea. So we're going to save a lot of execution time on that, I think. So 13 goes in there. Now, this is where it's just going to spin. This is horribly inefficient, but I don't think there's a better way to do it. So it's going to test 2 by incrementing all the way. It's going to test 3. It's going to test 5. It's going to test 7. It's going to test 11. And finally, it's going to get to 13 and go, oh, you divide in once evenly. So let's let that blast for a little bit, and you'll see it's hard to follow here, but we're still testing 2 all this time. Now we're testing 3. Now we're testing 5. Each time it's just blasting right over. Hope this thing doesn't break. We're testing 7. Now, let's see. We're getting close. Okay. Now we're testing 13. Subtract. Step through here. Dividing. We're bumping because it does go in once. Add 13. Subtract. We have a 0 now. Boop. We found the 1 mod. Perfect. Output it. We're good. We have a negative number, and we're doing the next one. So let's see what happens. 15 should be 3 and 5. I really wish they made this thing go have like a little bit faster mode so that the guy would just teleport or something instead of actually running, but whatever. 3 and show me the 5. And we're done. All right. I'm very curious. It's probably going to be horribly inefficient. Size I'm not going for. Don't care. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Yes, I'm 60 instructions or 60, you know, steps off, but all right, let me see. Let me take a few minutes and see if I can tweak it a little bit, but I'm not going to obsess over it. The fact that I made a solution for it, to me, is like good enough right there, but I do want to see if I can do a little bit better. Oh, this is dirty. This is dirty what I've done. This is not good programming, but I got an optimization here that I think might save me a few instructions. There's actually two things I did. The first one I did is when I pop a new number off the inbox, I don't need to test if I'm done. Essentially, I could just instead of doing the whole subtracting the current prime number, all that stuff, the same, I could just jump right down to the start of the loop. So that'll save me a handful of instructions every time we pop a new number off, which is only 3. So that's not much. But the super cheaty, nasty thing I did is this. When I pop a new number off, I added this little bit of code here where I subtract. So taking a step back here, the realization I made is a lot of the time is spent on the prime number 2 because we're only incrementing by 2 each time. So I got a test case up here, which is pretty much like the pathological worst case, right? If I'm popping 17 off, I gotta count by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you know, and then I get to the 16 to 2, 4, 6, 8, and we're just wasting a lot of loops just to see if something is divisible by 2. So instead, I put a little cheaty thing in here, knowing that when I pop a number off, I know that I'm starting on 2. So I try to subtract 10. Okay, if my number is negative, that means the number was less than 10. So I'm not going to do anything special there. I'm just going to jump down to the start of the loop as normal and zero everything out, because we're not going to be counting that much by 2s. However, if the number is not negative, then that means that we have a pretty big number that we're starting with here. So I'm going to cheat and take 5 and put it into div count and take 10, this little extra constant I built over here. Again, I just built that at the startup time. And I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to jump to the same, where is it? This guy. Jump to the same place where it's going to copy 10 into sum. So what I'm doing is kind of cheating and skipping 5 iterations through the loop here, where I'm just going to jump right to the case where I've already added 2 5 times. If that makes sense? This is total hack city, okay? But I'm just curious to see. I had other ideas that I'll go into in a second, but I really want to see how this one works out here. I can actually explain this while this one's happening. The other idea I had was to, instead of incrementally go through my prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, I thought, well, what if I start at the high numbers and go down? That way, the oddball, like 19s and 17s, are really expensive when you're going from low to high. I'll figure if I go from high to low, I might hit them faster and clean things up faster. But the problem is the program barked at me because it wanted me to it wants me to submit them from low to high, which I forgot. So anyway, let's let this thing speed on here. We got 18, so this one should be what? 2, 2, and another 2. That's 8. Another 2 is 16. No. What is this one? That's a whole lot of 2s. Uh-oh. Do we have an infinite loop here? No? Wow. Okay. I guess it was just a lot of prime numbers there. I didn't figure out. Let's see how we did. Instruction count went up even higher. Don't care. Let's see what this is right here. Ooh! I'll take it. I will take it. I will take it. That's not bad. I think that's pretty good. I beat the speed challenge, and my instruction count isn't astronomical. I mean, it's like you could make ones that were like 147 kind of thing if you really wanted to super optimize their speed, but I'm happy. I am happy with this. Any of you guys who have beaten this, have you beaten this? If so, what were your numbers? I'm really curious. Moving on to the sorting floor. Last one. And I know I'm not going to like this. I just know I'm not going to like this. Hey, check out the new office. We've really climbed the corporate ladder together. You haven't done jack, buddy. I've been carrying your butt. Thank you. My supervisor skills are truly are adequate. Yes. Your skills are pretty good, too. Whatever it is you do over there. Yes, exactly. Typical middle management. So, are you ready? For each zero terminated string in the inbox, sort the contents of the string, smallest first, biggest last, and put the results in the outbox. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, what are they giving us here? Copy from 24, copy. What is this? Inbox, copy to 20. Okay, copy to the address. Bump, jump. Oh, they just put some. They slapped some code down here to write the numbers out for us. Okay, this, if you got this far, you know what you're doing. Okay, this will require some definite thoughts. I'm gonna probably go back and look at my other sorting one just to refresh my memory on that one, but we'll see what we can come up with. Here we go. All right, I have a solution that I think will work here. Let's see. I've got something and I've kind of stepped through it, but I haven't let it go through all the way, so I don't know how efficient it is, and I don't even know if it's going to actually finish completely or not yet. But let me run down what I've got here. It's 29 instructions, which I think is pretty good here. So I guess I'll just verbally describe what it is without going through the code here first. Basically, read the string in up to the zero terminating value, write it all down, including the zero. Then what I'm going to do is make a series of passes through that string. So starting at 0 on the first pass, make a full pass through, and find the minimum value in the string. And I'm updating my min variable each time I, find a new value that is less than the current min. Once I get to the end of the string, I take min and I output it. Then I increment my start variable here. So the first pass through, I'm going to start at 0, obviously. Then I'm going to bump start and start at 1 the second time through. And I can do that because I know that whatever value was here the first time through immediately got pushed into min by default. And nothing is going to get pushed back there, so I kind of know that's like dead space. So, if I have a 4-length string and a 0 is in the 4 slot here, it's going to be like 0 to 4, 1 to 4, 2 to 4, 3 to 4. So each pass through is getting one character shorter and shorter until I get to the point where I start a pass and I'm already at 0. That's generally how it works. So let's step through it now. Zero out my start and my index. Again, start is the beginning of the next pass, I guess you could call it, and index is like the more lower level where I currently am within the pass. So let me just write these down here. We got 3 numbers here, including the 0 termination. Jump out. Okay, copy from start, and so that's just basically taking the first value. Start is 0, so take the 82 and just slam that in min because we haven't had anything, so let's start with min because we need it. Then copy start to index. Now is when we're in our loop here. We're going to bump index, go to the next slot, copy from it, and right there. If it's 0, we're going to jump out. It's not, so now we're going to subtract min. So this is just doing the comparison to min right here. We have a negative number, so we know that the value we just encountered, in this case 29, is actually less than our current min. So we need to go to this swap code here, which unfortunately takes 6 steps, and that's what this temp variable is for here. So I'm going to copy from min to temp, and then the new value, which is going to be at the reference of index, copy that to min, and then temp back to over there. So you'll see it's going to go min, pick up the 82, copy to temp, copy the 29, make that the new min, and I'll take the 82 and stick it back in the list. Pretty straightforward. Now we're done, so go back up, bump the index, and now we're on to the 53. Subtract. It is not less than the 29 because we have a positive number. So keep going again, bump, go to the next one, 0, we're done with that pass. So, right, 29 is our minimum value in the string. So pick it up, dump it in the outbox, bump start now. This is what I was talking about. So now we know we don't need to evaluate this 82 here because it's already been pushed into another slot or output in this, or as the case may be. In this case, it was pushed to another slot. So we're going to start here now and go 1 to 3 instead of 0 to 3. But it's basically the same process. So 82 is the min, bump 53. We'll replace the min, get to the 0, we're done, pick up the 53, dump it in the outbox. This is the case right here. I feel like I could probably do a little bit of optimization because it's like we're starting with one character and we still go through kind of a whole loop and stuff here. But anyways, that's the first one. It works with letters too, which is kind of cool. One of the benefits, or the reason it works with numbers and letters, is because I basically just take what's in the first slot and use that to initialize my min variable, so it'll work with whatever you want to throw in there. So let me blast this and let's see what happens here. Go, little man, do your magic. Now this is gonna take a while because even this one here, like the way it's doing the word logic, is gonna take quite a few steps. And the next one is actually going to take even longer because you can see what's coming up on the pipe there. Let's get logic done here, and then you'll see this next one is, I think, is probably going to be, yeah, look, it's like a 9-character string here. 10 characters, so yeah. This is going to take a little bit, so I'm going to let this blast, and I'll pick up with you right when this one is done. All right, we are reaching the end here. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. I'm also pretty sure my efficiency is going to be horrible. Howdy, boss. Let's see. Nailed the instruction count. Oh, not so good on the speed. That's what I figured. That's what I figured. All right. You know what? I'm going to take a few seconds to see if I can see any low-hanging fruit, but again, I'm not going to obsess over it. So let me see what I can do, and we'll see. But we may just be done. Oh, I just nailed it. Nailed it. Oh, do I have a good solution here? Okay, I changed a couple of things here, which are just awesome. This is, like, I am so pleased about this outcome right now, I gotta say. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I haven't checked it out yet. I haven't checked out the ratings or whatever yet, but what a massive improvement. Okay, after this one, I'm gonna own this stupid mail sorting company. I'm gonna fire this guy right here. Alright, to start out, we've changed quite a few things here, but the big thing is now, instead of processing our numbers from left to right, we're going to be processing from right to left, okay? And I'm going to skip this first slot, so I'm not going to put anything there. So instead of actually writing out the 0 and checking for the contents of a variable to be 0, instead I'm going to skip this slot so that when I hit the index of 0, I know I'm done. That helps a little bit, but it really just opens the door for other things. And the other things being, in my min variable here, I'm not going to actually store the value that is the minimum. I'm instead just going to store the index of the current minimum value. And the real benefit to that is that when I discover a new minimum, I don't have to do this like 6-step swap that I had before. I can simply just take the new index and stomp over the old one because I don't lose any data by doing that since I'm just copying the index of it, which works out fantastic. And then when I'm done with a full pass, I take whatever number I started with. So say I was on a pass that started at 4, so there were values in 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the 0 was empty, of course. If I take whatever the number was in the spot I started at and copy it to wherever I got the minimum from. So say the minimum was in 2, I'd copy the 4 to the 2, and then decrement my starting point, so start at the 3. So it's still the same process of like 4 down, 3 down, 2 down, 1 down. It's like the reverse of what I did before. So let me show you here. Let me blast some stuff in here. Alright, so you can see that's all it starts out as. No 0 terminating value, and I skip an empty slot in the beginning. And again, I'm going to be copying in reverse. So you'll see start now. I realized I can also use that, so I saved a couple copies there. So I'm actually just using my 0 variable here because when I'm done, the value is already back to 0. So there's no reason to leave 0 in a pristine state. Anyway, yeah, copy to start, copy to index. So we're starting at 3. Copy from index, copy to min. So basically we're just seeding our min as the index. So we're saying, yeah, what's in index 3? Yeah, that's our minimum value so far because it's the first one we've seen. Bump index down. If we're at 0, we're done. If not, this is where we got to copy the actual values at the index now. Subtract the value at the actual min now, just kind of like we did before. It's a negative number, so we have a new minimum because 39 is less than 53. In this case now, you can see here's the beauty of it. Just copy index, which is 2, stomp over the 3 that was there, and we're done. And that's it. And now we just keep going until we're done. Now we pick up what's in. You can see instruction 7 is picking up the value of what's in min, in this case 39, dumping it to the outbox, and then now taking the value he started at, 53, and bumping it down and stomping over where I got the min from. So the 39 is gone because he got output, and everything else kind of shifts down, and magic happens. Magic happens. So this is pretty much going to be a world record, and they're going to just give me the company right now. So you're going to be fired in just a few seconds there, buddy. All right, let me plow through this 947-digit number, and I'll be right back. And there we go. How'd I do, boss? Or should I? Oh, 21. Yes. Yes. Now that is how you end a series, ladies and gentlemen. All right, end program. Congratulations. Let's see how these aliens did. Can't wait to see this. Yeah.
Congratulations. You've really become an invaluable instruction follower.
Yes, don't worry, your job is safe. We've replaced you with this electric box.
It's called a computer.
A computer.
It iterates through a list of simple instructions, called a program.
It has a small amount of memory to store data while processing, like tiles on the floor.
It has inputs
and outputs.
Its simple instructions can be used together in infinite combinations to compute just about anything you can imagine.
Amazing technology.
It never sleeps.
It's going to change everything.
Please take your things and enjoy whatever it is you people do out there. Congratulations.
All right. What about the aliens? What about the... What? I'm waiting. There goes the elevator back to the ground floor. Oh, yeah! Get him! Get him! I don't know what we're getting, but get him! Run away! Oh! That's a foot. That's a giant foot. What is happening? This is so weird. Huh? What? Huh? After 42 years in the mailroom, he's out. Alright. I have no idea what the aliens had to do with anything. Good game, though. Good game. Definitely enjoyed this. Like I said, if there's ever an expansion for this thing or something, I'll be picking it up. Definitely. Love this music. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Alright guys, that is going to do it for Human Resource Machine. Thank you all you guys for watching this series. I, again, obviously had a ton of fun doing it, and the fact that you guys were interested in watching me geek out and do this for a little bit was really cool. I know I'm not the best at this game, but I had a lot of fun, and thanks for your patience as I struggled through some of these puzzles. You guys are awesome. Until next time, Tango out.